Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the council and Mayor Cheney for giving me the opportunity to update you on the activities of the Sustainable Environment Commission. In the interest of time, I will be brief and just touch on some highlights of some recent and current activity. As a oh well, and not supposed to be doing that. Gee, Ryan had this all set up. Hit the wrong button, Ryan. What was it? This one?
Hey, Ryan.
Oh yeah. Didn't think you could do that from remote, huh?
Day.
Cool. Thanks.
On the ball, Ryan. Good job.
He's not sleeping back there.
Okay, so the first item, as a follow-up to the current activity I reported to council at our last update, which was February of 2010, our commission coordinated with the Moscow Police Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, and the Latah County Youth Advocacy Council on a booth at the Senior Fair in the Palouse Mall, and the booth highlighted details on the issue of disposal of outdated pharmaceuticals. It was the first actual collection that took place in the city of Moscow, and it also promoted the new drop box, which the police department was just instituting at that time. And in all, at that first event, I believe there was some 25 pounds of pharmaceuticals collected at that event, and that's continued to be a successful effort. And I'll report more on some updates on that under current activity. At our January meeting, the Commission received a presentation by City Supervisor Gary Riedner and Solid Waste Manager Tim Davis about the draft strategic plan for waste management for Moscow. The Commission then had Tim attend a follow-up meeting so we could have some further discussion, get some questions answered about various aspects of the plan. After the discussion, the Commission formally endorsed the draft plan and sent a letter indicating such to the Council and the Mayor, informing them of our endorsement. Recently in April, actually, we co-sponsored a showing of the award-winning film A Chemical Reaction. This is a film about the banning of home lawn care chemical use in a small town in Canada. The film was shown on April 20th, was the exact date, as part of the Co-op's Good Food series at the Kenworthy. The showing was co-sponsored by the City of Moscow, who underwrote some of the cost, the Co-op, Moscow Recycling, and Gritman Hospital. The SEC drafted and sent forward a resolution for consideration by City Council in March, stating that the City of Moscow formally endorse the Bagot campaign and support this voluntary effort during Earth Month, which is April of 2011. The resolution was approved by City Council at their April 4th meeting. At the suggestion of Mayor Cheney, the Commission invited Tim Davis and Andy Boyd to explain the city's e-waste recycling program and where our e-waste is sent. Moscow Recycling and the City of Moscow is using a highly reputable firm, Inland Retech in Spokane, for disposal of our e-waste. However, again, at the suggestion of Mayor Cheney, who received an email of concern from UI Professor Greg Mueller, we invited Greg to our meeting. And Greg alerted us to the details of a global problem of e-waste being dumped in countries like Africa and China, where the toxic components are being extracted in ways that are harmful to human health and the environment. At the Mayor's suggestion, as I mentioned, we asked Dr. Mueller to give us some details on that, which he did. Gave the Commission an overview of the problem and indicated that even though our e-waste is going to a reputable firm, as I mentioned, Inland Retech in Spokane, that does not necessarily guarantee that our e-waste is not eventually being sent to third world countries. So as a result, Moscow Recycling is in discussion with a Seattle organization called the Basal Action Network regarding steps we can take to make sure that the consumer electronics, which we ship from Moscow to Spokane, are being recycled in an environmentally responsible manner. Andy Boyd of Moscow Recycling indicated to me just Friday that the Basal Action Network has information on what they have termed an e-Steward program, which contains a certification program for assurances of not shipping materials to developing countries. Andy plans to get a hold of Inland Retech this week, he informed me, and talk to them about whether the outlets for their materials are part of this program and if they are interested in pursuing eSteward membership. Now, just a few words about some current activities. As a follow-up to the disposal of outdated pharmaceuticals piece I updated you on earlier, we're currently cooperating, again, with the Police Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Latah County Youth Advocacy Council, and the University of Idaho Communications class on a marketing campaign designed to inform Moscow residents about the adverse effects of improper pharmaceutical disposal. As part of the campaign designed by the University of Idaho Communications class, they put together a variety of materials, including a complete marketing plan. The slide on the screen is of a poster they've produced as part of the campaign proposal. I'm currently reviewing the materials, working with Gail Silkwood of the Youth Advocacy Council, Latah County Youth Advocacy Council, to assure proper credit is given on all the material to the Moscow Police Department for their efforts, and also to see how SEC can assist distributing the posters in town. Again, at the suggestion of the mayor, the commission invited Tim Davis to speak at our May meeting on the issue of clopyralid contamination of the compost source the city is planning to offer free to city and county residents. The commission offered to assist Tim in publicizing the issue to area citizens by helping with press releases or radio show appearances, and Tim has recently made a decision, after consulting again with UI Professor Greg Mueller, who happened to have some expertise in this area as an environmental toxicologist, that the compost would be offered for non-food use. Tim is currently working on a flyer about the compost distribution, which he's going to forward to me for review, hopefully later this week, he informed me. And final items, after consultation with Mayor Cheney and discussion at our May meeting, the Sustainable Environment Commission has decided to hold another opportunity for public input on the megaload shipments through Moscow issue on June 15th from 7 to 9 p.m. There will be a press release being issued by the city, and also talked with a reporter at the Daily News today for some publicity about that. The commission will read through the public comments, discuss them, and based on the input provided and the knowledge and research of SEC members, provide an opinion and recommendation to City Council on that issue to do with as they deem so. So, with that quick run-through, questions?
Thank you, Scott. Well done, and thank you and your colleagues on Sustainable Environment Commission for your good work.
Thank you.
Yes, Dan.
All right, I got a couple that just on some of the projects that have been done. You said that Police Department collected 25 pounds of the pharmaceuticals on that one day.
Right.
How do they dispose of them from there?
They go to I believe they go to Spokane from there. There's a
Are they incinerated or?
they're actually incinerated, and apparently that's under some state supervision. So,
Okay.
yeah.
When is the next e-waste collection day? Has that been set yet?
That I don't actually know. That would have to be an Andy Boyd question.
Okay, so that, I'm pretty sure that comes during the summer, but.
Yeah, the last one we had was during the summer at the Tidyman's parking lot. I remember that one, but I don't remember. No, I haven't seen a notice about it, but Andy probably has it. So Moscow Recycling would know that one.
And what is a
Clopyralid.
A clopyralid?
Yeah, it's actually a chemical that is, and I'm not a toxicologist by any means, or a pesticide specialist, but it's a chemical that's used pretty commonly in lawn care products, and that's how it's getting in from lawn clippings is how it's getting in to the compost.
Okay.
So the only, what we're suggesting in terms of the advising the citizens of the limitations on the use of compost is sort of putting a Band-Aid on the problem. Mm-hmm. I mean, the only way to get a clean compost sourced would be to eliminate any chance of clopyralids appearing in the compost,
which would
mean taking it out of grass clippings, which would mean banning those chemicals. So that's a whole other discussion.
Right.
Yeah. Sue?
I guess my question is it from fertilizer or from pesticides?
It's pesticides. Yeah.
It's pesticides.
Yeah.
Okay.
Copyralid functions as an herbicide, and it ends up,
It's
remember a few
it's
years
a
ago.
broadleaf weed killer is what it is.
And a few years ago, it ended up getting mixed into a commercially available compost material and killed a bunch of
I
tomato
remember
crops.
Wazoo.
Remember
I
that?
remember that happened at
Right,
Wazoo, yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tim?
I believe you can recycle your computer equipment at the recycling center
Right.
on a daily basis.
Right,
whenever
but
it's
it's where,
open.
it's what happens when they ship, oh, yeah, you can take it there anytime.
Right.
They hold a mass collection once a year, though. That makes it easy for people to haul large screen, 52-inch old-style TVs and that kind of stuff to, yeah.
Them are never easy to haul.
Other questions?
I just might tag team with you here and follow up and just mention that some of the electronics stores will also take back, computers and cell phones and things like that. So check with your retailer to find out if they have such a program built into their commercial system. And then I'm wondering about some kind of, maybe Sustainable Environment Commission could give us some advice in terms of, outreach to citizens so they can learn about safe home composting with their food scraps and whatnot, that they could maybe, if they have a lot that's large enough to accommodate a garden, or they're working in a community garden plot, perhaps some lessons from Extension or from the
And
university or
Extension does
from,
have some good materials.
from a number of expert
we'll look into
sources
that.
that we have, we could provide training on here's how you can have a safe compost for food crops and not have to be so worried about what's in there.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, great. Any other questions or comments? Yes, Wayne.
Well, Scott, I want to first of all thank you for giving my report tonight. You did it in much greater depth than I would have done it, and I appreciate that. The other thing I want to mention is, as apparently everybody's aware, is it's been my privilege to be the council liaison to the Sustainable Environment Commission this year. And I sit through a lot of meetings, and I see a lot of people run meetings in various manners. And I've told Scott this already, that he is extremely efficient in the way he runs his meetings. He keeps his people on task, and he gets things done. And Scott, congratulations. I appreciate that. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
that.
much.
Thank you. And thank you for your service. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Good. All right, good.